we serve. What a mighty God we serve. All the angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God. Oh, what a mighty God we serve. Oh, what a mighty God we serve. All the angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. Oh, Jesus is the God we serve. Oh, Jesus God. All the angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. We serve. Oh, what a mighty God we serve. Oh, the angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. We serve. We serve. Oh, what a mighty God we serve. Oh, the angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. We serve. We serve. Oh, what a mighty God we serve. Oh, the angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God. Praise the Lord, everybody. Again, we thank God for all of you being present with us. We thank God for those who are viewing us via live stream. We praise God for his help and his strength. And most importantly, we bless God for being so real in our lives. We thank God for not only keeping us from trouble, but we thank God for being our very present help in the time of trouble. We bless the Lord today. If you would turn with me in your Bibles to Job chapter 23. I'd like to start reading at verse number 3. When we have Job, some of you may be looking for Job, but Job chapter 2. I said 23, but I meant 2, chapter 2. Job chapter 2, please. We have Job chapter 2, signified by saying amen. We'd like to start our reading at verse number 3. And the word of the Lord reads, And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, to destroy him with our cause. Verse number 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his feet to the crown, to his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. We'll pause it for a second to give you our subject for this afternoon. And our subject for this afternoon is simply, you had to go through it. You had to go through it. I think one of the major issues that we're having in the church and in the body of Christ, or Christendom as a whole, is that people are believing that salvation or being in relationship with God equals less problems and easy way of living. But I come to remind you that the Bible says, yea, all them that live godly shall suffer persecution. The Bible also lets us know that if we are to be Christ, that we are to arm ourselves likewise, for as he suffered, we shall suffer also. And I think that we're at a place where we're forgetting that God illustrates for us through scriptures all of the great historians of the Bible who suffered great things, so that as you and I are going through our affliction, we can look at them and see if God did it for them, he'll do it for me. I come to remind you that if God considered his servant Job, not because Job was a man who was perfect, but in the fact that Job's heart was right towards God. And God knew that regardless of what would come in his life, whether riches or rags, he would still bless him. Now, how many of you got in your mind that it doesn't matter what I have to go through, I will bless the Lord at all times? Well, you got to be careful when you say that, because it's easy to say that you will praise God when everything's going well. It's easy to say I will bless his name as long as you got money in your pocket. But how many of you got in your spirit that it doesn't matter what I've got to go through, I can say that the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not. So now when I look at my problems and I look at my hardship and I look at everybody who walked out of my life, I look at every job I've lost, I look at everything that I've lost, I had to go through it. I don't think nobody want to help me here. Some of you still crying over your spilt milk. Some of you still crying over the person who broke your heart. But how many of you can look at your life now and look that if it hadn't been for the things that you went through, you wouldn't have known that he's a healer. You wouldn't have known that he's a savior. You wouldn't have known he was a keeper. You had to go through it. I sat down this past week after many nights of being up late trying to get ready for vacation Bible school, and then just keeping my mind moving forward to usher the children and the saints into the place where we're going for the next season. And when I sat there and saw the results of what was going on nightly, I realized to myself I had to go through it. You don't understand that while you're going through the tests and while you're going through the struggles, you might want to murmur and complain, but when you can look at the end at the beginning like God. How many know that everything you're going through, the Bible said all things work together for the good of them that love God and of the called. That's Paul said for a second. You got to make certain that you're in the calling. You can't just be on your own little selfish trip and you going through hardship and you say, well, I'm going through this for the Lord. No, you're going through this because of disobedience. Yes. You're going through this because you decided a way that you didn't acknowledge God in. But all God asks you to do then is repent and turn away from it, and he'll help you through it. Hello, somebody. Somebody help your neighbor and say, you had to go through it. Let's go back to the scriptures. And the Bible said Job's wife says to him, are you still holding on to your integrity? In other words, our children are dead. You've lost nearly everything. And you got sores all over your body. But yet, you still looking like a righteous man. Job, what will it take for you to release God? But y'all ain't hearing me. Somebody, you got to know it doesn't matter if everybody and everything around you burn down, I'm going to stand on God. And somebody, how you going to stand on God? I'm going to stand on the fact that he never leaves me. I'm going to stand on the fact that he'll never forsake me. I'll stand on the fact that even when my father that the closest thing to you comes to you says, what in the world are you doing? Not heard theologians in Bible, our preachers try to add a spin to why Job's wife wanted him to curse God and all this other thing. I wasn't assigned to give you that today. All I want you to know is I want you to imagine a person who was going about his day-to-day situation, remembering to pray and offer sacrifices to God. And all of a sudden, one thing after another kept happening in his life. He looked and he didn't see any flaws in himself. But one thing after another kept coming. And if it wasn't the worst thing at all, after losing so much and being sick, his wife who stood in there and covenant there for riches and for poor, for better and for worse, I'll be with you to death to a part. And she stood there and says to him, are you holding on to your integrity? People will tell you if you weren't in that sanctified church, your life wouldn't be so messed up. They will tell you that if you stop playing with them people in that church, God will help you because you ain't right anyway. But tell somebody, I had to go through this. Y'all ain't hearing me. Because see, what I found out is when everybody questioned my commitment to God, I didn't question God's commitment to me. Y'all ain't hearing me. Oh, when I couldn't always have the right answer to tell them about my doctrinal belief or why we do things the way we did, I didn't question whether he saved me. I couldn't question whether he healed me. I couldn't question whether he delivered me. Because I had to go through what I went through. And while I didn't always have the right thing to say, I always had peace because my mind was stayed on. Y'all ain't gonna help me here today. Look what the Bible says in verse number 10 of chapter 2 of Job. He says, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we receive evil? In all this did Job not. Job did not what? With what? Hold on. I think the saints need to take a page of that verse. Because though you're not sleeping with somebody else's husband, you're not sleeping with somebody else's wife, watch what you say. Watch what you say. Because what you say can be sinning against God. He said, Pastor, how can I sin against God with my lips? When you start talking doubt, when you start walking and talking in fear, you sin. That's why the Bible says, all have sinned and come short. Y'all ain't going to hear me here now. That's why you got to be careful of what comes out of your mouth. Because the power of life and death is in your tongue. You got to be careful that when you don't have an answer, you ask the wrong questions or make the wrong statements. But I would advise you, if you don't know what's going on and you don't have the right answer, just don't say nothing at all. Look at the Bible now. Look at the Bible. In all this, that Job suffered, but he didn't let his mouth say anything evil against the God that he believed. That's why I have such a hard time with church, because we say we love God and we trust God, but everything causes us to speak negative. If I trust God, it doesn't matter if I'm in the midst of a burning, fiery furnace. I'm going to still have to say, if he don't do it, he's still able. Well, come on here, somebody. I can have a sickness on my body, and I got to be able to say, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Now, I will bless the name of the Lord. Why? Because God has the power to do whatever he wants to do. And if he's allowed me to go through it, it's for his glory. And I'm going to bless him every chance I get. When someone asks me, how you doing today? I'm going to simply tell them I'm trusting him more than I did yesterday. Somebody is anger in the Lord. Saints, you got to remember, you have to go through some stuff. That's the only way you can shout with a determination of power and glory. Because you're shouting on not what somebody told you. You're shouting on what God has already manifested. Verse 11 of Job 2 says, now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came everyone from his own place. Everybody coming to you ain't coming for you. All right. Come on in there. I want you to understand that. Yes, yes. All right. Some people are coming to see you in your suffering. And you think they're coming to connect with you so they can pray you through. No, they just want to see how long you will suffer. See, one of the things I love about God is God will let you get to a point where they have already counted you out. He will let the audience get right and ready. And that's why scripture keeps running in my spirit. He prepares a table for me in the presence. See, some of you want God to deliver you out of a thing, but the audience ain't right yet, because your enemies are still in the woodwork. He has to get them all at the table. He has to allow them to see your mouth white. He has to allow them to see you looking like you on your last leg. He has to get you to the place where it looks like you're holding and you're about to start begging. And just when they're ready to count you out, the Bible says his strength is made perfect in your weakness. And when the environment is right, he will begin to feed you at his. You had to go through it. Eliphaz, the Temanite, Bildad, the Shuhite, and Zophar, the Naamite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. Please, saints, if I'm going through, don't help me feel sorry about my situation. Speak the word into my spirit. Encourage me in God. Because I don't need to feel bad about what I can't change. But I need to have hope in the God that will not change. Let me hear you. So they asked me, well, why do you always have something positive to say? Even when it's a bad thing, because we got enough negative. And there's no need for me to remind you of what's already bad. I need to remind you who is always good. That's why the Bible said, I will look unto the hills, but when cometh my help. And how many know that you always got help coming from the Lord? Come on here. Let's go. Look at verse number 12 of Job 2. It says, and when they lifted up their eyes afar off, and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept, and they rent everyone his mantle, and sprinkled dust upon their heads towards heaven. They went through their rituals. They went through their antics. They did those things that was the custom of showing connection with them. See, if I was one of the three, I would have taken you by the hand and said, come on, Brother Joe, get up from here. Come on, let's get you all cleaned up. And let's get some food in you. And let's begin to look at what God is about to do. Y'all ain't hearing me. I'm not going to say to you, well, I'm so sorry that this happened. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry that. No. I'm going to tell you, if God allowed you to come to it, He's going to see you through it. Tell somebody, I've been through some stuff. Y'all ain't saying it like y'all. Y'all ain't been through nothing. Y'all ain't been through nothing. But if you've been through some stuff, you would have a testimony. See, you went through the past, and now the past has become your testimony. But that's why you got to rejoice in the God of your salvation. Because what I went through couldn't kill me. What I went through couldn't stop me. Well, watch this. Verse 13 says, so they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights. You would think that they really cared. And none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Job 2:13. You know the rest of the story. After that time, they got really religious. And they started telling Job, you must have done something wrong. This is a result of you. Thus and so. And as the book of Job continues, Job started letting that stuff infest his spirit. He got to a point where he started questioning God. He was asking God. He started challenging God. God took Job to a place and he said, Job, where were you when I put the stars in the sky? Where were you when I spoke things into existence? Job, do you not understand that all powers are in my hand? What I want to say to understand is the thing that you're going through right now, you have to go through. Because God needs you to understand that it doesn't matter that it comes to you. It can't destroy you. It can't stop you. It may inconvenience you. It may hurt you. It may cause you to slow down. But tell somebody, I've done what I had to do to stand. And having done all to stand, I'm going to plant my feet. And I'm going to stand therefore, having my loins girt about with truth. This is the word of God. But when that old back starts bothering you, you may not be able to shout your way through. But you can raise your hand. And when your arms are stiff, you can still open your mouth and just say, hallelujah. When your money starts acting funny, you don't have enough money to pay your bill. You can look in the refrigerator, and if you just got one packet of something in you, you can say, Lord, I bless you for the little bit that I have. Because when you cross food, you'll remind yourself, I had to go through so much to get here, and I'm not going to waste a minute of it. I will thank the Lord before I put a fork in the mouth. I will say, Lord, thank you for this meal. I thank you for what you brought me. Y'all ain't talking to me. To some of us, we forgot what God brought us through. We forgot how good He's been to us. But if you ever get reminded, and it had not been for the Lord. You had to go through it. God never said it would feel good. He never told you. But you had to go through it. Hallelujah. If I hadn't gone through what I went through, I wouldn't know that I'm standing on the foundation of Jesus Christ. When men turned their backs on me, when they tried to block me, because I was standing on the rock that never gave away, I had to go through it to know that it was the Lord who was up. You had to go through it. Watch this. Hallelujah, God. Bless your name, Father. Hallelujah, your grace and your mercy. Hallelujah. Bless your name, God. Hallelujah. You had to go through it. You had to go through it. You had to let that man walk out of your life so he can let you see that I'm going to keep you. He had to let your child get in trouble just to let you see that if you call upon me, I will answer you and come in here and me. He had to let your marriage get to the place where it got so broken and so brittle. He can show you that I'm the God that can put it back together again. The gospel according to John chapter 11. We're going to move quickly. The gospel according to John chapter 11, starting with verse 40. Y'all ain't going to talk to somebody, nobody right now. Just tell yourself, I had to go through it. Y'all ain't saying that like you can face. You ain't mentioned. I woke up so excited after getting this download in my spirit yesterday. It just made sense for me. I didn't have to battle with trying to keep it covered. I didn't have to battle with trying to have a perfect presentation. I just needed to know I had to go through it. Yes. And then have to even give explanation to God and say, Lord, thank you that you didn't let me die in. Yes. Thank you. The gospel according to John chapter 11 verse 40 says, Jesus said unto her, said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God. Now you know that John chapter 11 is the story of Lazarus. They sent word several days before that our brother whom thou lovest is on the verge of death. Jesus, being with the disciples in another city, he delayed his coming. And then he says to the disciples, let us go, for Lazarus sleepeth. The Bible says, for he taketh rest. Then Jesus says plainly, Lazarus is dead. But I'm glad for your sake that I was with you when you got the message. Come on, somebody. Aren't you glad that when the thing came, that God was with you? Aren't you glad when you got to the end of yourself, where it just seemed like you were hopeless and helpless? Aren't you glad that he was with you? Y'all ain't gonna say it to me. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. Come on, let me show you this. Let me show you this. Verse 41 says, then they took away the stone. They did what? From the place where the dead was laid, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, Father. Setting a pattern for us to follow. See, this is why Trinitarians get confused, because God was always in the first person, but he was showing us what we need to do to reach him. So here he was in the flesh, talking to himself, and he said, I want them to acknowledge me as their Father. Don't say Father. Trinitarians tell you, well, see, right there, Jesus is talking to God. If he was God, why would he be calling him Father? Because he was setting a pattern for you to follow. Well, let me show you. Look at this. He says, Father, what? Father, I what? That thou hast heard. See, he wants the saints, when you have to ask God for a hard thing, Don't beg him for the thing you need. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all are distracted. Come on back to me now. Come on back to me. He was teaching us the first thing you do is you won't have to ask him for what you need because he already knows what you have need of. But what he was teaching us is in your time of need, thank him and acknowledge that you know he has the ability and the power to get it done. Because so many times we're defeated because we don't know whether God heard us or not. You pray, tell me, I don't know if God's hearing me. Then you go on a fast. You're like, I wonder if I need to fast a couple days more because I still don't feel nothing. That's your problem. So Jesus, let me teach you. You got a hard thing. Acknowledge that he's your father. And what father, knowing his children have needs? Hello. He said, acknowledge me as your father. Because if I'm your father, I'm going to provide what you have need of. He said, if your evil father knows how to give you, how much more with your heavenly father? So acknowledge him as your father. Then thank him for what? For hearing you. Look at this. I'm trying to teach y'all while I exalt you too, but we got to do this quickly. Look what he says. Look what he says. Verse 45 of John 11. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary, how many? Many. And had seen the things and had done what? Had done what? No, go back. And had seen what? They were present, and now they were about to see. Y'all see that? You had to go through it so that God could get those people in your life that won't go to church. You had to go through it because the testimony of your life, the writer says, do you not know that your living epistles known and read of all men? You just want the good things written about your life. But what about when you look like you can't make it and here comes God? Y'all look at this. The Bible says many Jews were present and they see the thing what Jesus did. I should have told y'all to jump down to verse 45. They did what? They did what? Why did they believe on him? Not only they see, they heard, and they see. But here's the big one. They experienced. Yes. They experienced Mary and Martha's pain. They were there when Lazarus was on the bed fighting for his life. Are y'all missing this? See, y'all always want God to take you out of stuff and deliver you. No. Lazarus laid there till he died. Buried him on the same day, because that's what they do in the Jewish culture. They put him in the place of burial. He wasn't there one day. He wasn't there 2 days. He wasn't there 3 days. He was there 4. Asking God to deliver you because you've been in the same too long. God saying you ain't been in there long enough. Y'all ain't hearing me. Look at this. Verse 46. But some of them went there what? Way. To the Pharisees and told them what? What did they become? What did they become? They became witnesses. They became witnesses. They went to tell the religious people what they experienced. They said, y'all need to see this. We've been around y'all's church all our lives. We ain't never seen nothing like this. Y'all missing us. Look, man. Y'all see what I'm seeing? Look what he says. And they went and told the Pharisees, right? And told them what things Jesus had done. Verse 47. Then gathered who? And the fact a council and said what? For this man doeth what? Now, you had to go through it for the miracles to be recorded. You had to go through it so that others could see God working in your life. Now, this thing has gotten back to the head priest. The power of God is present. They can't deny it. They can't deny it. They know the stuff you've been through. See, you try to keep it all perfect and fluffy and looking good. I don't want them to see me struggling. You put stuff under your eyes so they don't see you crying all night. Come out looking as tall up as you want to look. Look as beat up and as defeated as you can. Y'all been hearing me? Pastor, why are you telling me that? Shouldn't I look like I got the victory? Don't lie if you don't have it. Because his strength is going to be perfect in your weakness. He said, but should I count those things to be not as though they were? He didn't say that deny or ignore what the reality is. So when they think that you can't go another day, guess what? You're going to come back tomorrow and still up as you were the day before, or even worse. And they're going to start scratching their head. How's she keep going? You look like you barely making it, and you coming here again? You trying to help people, and you look like you can't even help yourself? Look, let me show you. Tell somebody you had to go through it. Why? Because now people are looking to see what it is that's keeping you. They ask you, mother, how you doing with all the kids? How you doing with all the babies you keep all the time? You 80 years old. And all you do is that's why you throw up your hand. Because you know if it had not been for the Lord. Listen, somebody, I had to go through it. But y'all sound a little bit better. Come on. No, here we go. Here we go. The Bible says, now, the priest. Not only the priest, but the high priest. Verse number 49 says, one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye what? Y'all ain't know what y'all talking about. He's supposed to be the closest to God because he got to go to the holies of holies to make sacrifice for people. And he is blind and as lost as anybody. Look at the next verse. Look at the next verse. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that what? For what? And now, God took a foolish man's mouth and made him prophesy to set the decree for his word to be manifest. That's what Pastor Lee talking about. I don't see that. What are you saying? See, y'all worried about sinners and other people. You need more money on your job. And you appealing to people. Appeal to God. That's right. God will make one of your enemies on the job say, you know what? I noticed that she stays later than anybody else. And when I get here, she's always here. And for some reason, every time I have a problem, she's the one that helps me with it. See now, the atmosphere is saturated for your miracle. Caiaphas says it is not expedient that all the Jews die to the Romans, but one should die. Yeah, y'all won't see that. Let's go to verse 49. What does verse 49 says? Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should 51. And this, he spake not of what? Calling. God used the fool's mouth. What's the next thing he said? What's the next thing that verse says? He did what? He did what? Now, let me help y'all understand, those of you that don't know Old Testament scripture. God's not a counterfeit. He doesn't work in counterfeit. Y'all blessing God, asking God to bless you with money, and you looking in the sky for the money to fall down. God ain't going to give you money coming out of the sky. God's not going to bless you with somebody else losing their purse or their wallet. That's not God. Hello. Jesus is set to die. The Romans have already made a declaration that he's going to be crucified. But the Romans don't have a connection with Jehovah God, so therefore they can't be a part of what God has already deemed in his word. Let me take it back. The Levitical law says only the high priest can make sacrifice before God. Oh, y'all ain't see this? Because Caiaphas was the high priest, he had to set it in motion. If the Romans had declared death on Jesus, it would have been murder. But because Caiaphas is the high priest, it became a sacrifice. Y'all look at this. Because Caiaphas is not speaking of his own, but being the high priest of that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for the nation. Look at verse 52. And not for the nation only, but that also he should gather together in what?
One with the children of God.
He set it in motion. What God needed to be done. Tell somebody, you had to go through it. What did he have to go through? Lazarus had to get sick, mother. In order for Jesus to come to the town and when the time that he did. Mary, mother, had to suffer losing their brother. The Jews had to see the miracles that they saw so they could take the word back to Caiaphas. Oh, y'all ain't hearing me. He said, Pastor, what does all that mean? If none of that had happened, you wouldn't have salvation. Go to John chapter 12. Next book over. Don't go too far. John chapter 12. I'm almost finished, I promise you. You there?
Amen.
John chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. And then we'll go to verses 9, 10, 11. We're finished. The gospel according to John chapter 12, verse 1 says, then 6 days before what? There's all these important little things. God hasn't recorded their religious principles or festivals and things that they keep. These people lived and died by these things because it's a part of their laws. He said 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was what? Which would have been what? Now let me let you know, Lazarus was surely dead. That's what it's telling me. Whom he what?
Raised from the dead.
There they made him what? And what happened? But Lazarus, who? How many dead people y'all don't eat food? They calling you dead, but you feasting at the master's table. They counting you out, but you getting strong. Lazarus is eating with Jesus. Jump down to verse number 9. Much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there. He who? And they came not for Jesus' sake. What? Huh? 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 Who they were coming to see? Dead man walking. nothing. When you've been at the bottom, and God puts your feet on a solid rock.
Yes, Lord.
It may not happen immediately or quickly, but the very people who waited for you to be destroyed, gonna watch you looking better. And if you've always been the ugly duckling, all of a sudden you're gonna look beautiful. You say, beautiful. Yeah, because he beautifies the meek. Please don't get it wrong. He beautifies the meek with what? He beautifies the meek with what? With what? You look beautiful because you got salvation. You look like you should be falling and failing. But what they don't see is God's holding you up. They come and investigate. She ain't done yet.
Oh, my Savior.
Let's see what God do now. See, that's what happens. They're so busy investigating, they want to see the next thing. That's the right atmosphere for God to show them who He is. Tell somebody, I had to go through it. In my conclusion, much people of the Jews therefore knew that He was there, and they came not for Jesus' sake only. Y'all think folks coming to church for church? Let me give y'all a warning. This is not the church. This is a building. Ye are the church. Ye are the building, the living epistles. Ye are the vessels. So when people come to see Jesus, they ain't just coming to see Him because they can't see Him. They got to see Him in you. They got to see what He's done for you and in you and through you. Look. But that they might see Lazarus also, whom He had raised from the dead. Any of y'all He had to raise you from the bucket of mine? Any of y'all He had to raise from the dead? But the chief priests consulted that they might, who? Let's kill the testimony too. Y'all experience that. God's done a wonderful work in your life. People start talking bad about you. Yeah. If y'all knew what I knew, you talk all you want to. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises me in judgment, I will condemn. Why? Because my righteousness is in God. I don't have to defend myself. I just need to walk in that which He's called me. Because when a man's ways pleases God, any of y'all ever experienced that? Yes. When a man's ways pleases God, He makes even His enemies to be at peace with Him. But because that by reason of Him, many of the Jews went away and believed on who? Jesus. Him who? Jesus. No. Who believed on Him who? Because of Him who? Lazarus. Because of Lazarus. Yes. Because they know He was dead because they saw when He died. They know the pain that it caused because it was Mary and Martha. So it doesn't matter what kind of a sin is. It can't change what God did. How many of y'all know that? It doesn't matter what anybody says. It's what God has already done. They can't kill your testimony. In fact, Revelation says that these are they who overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Tell somebody, I had to go through it. Y'all ain't confessed. Y'all going back to that. If you don't get tested, you won't have a testimony. But build yourself up now, because God will let you go through some stuff that's going to be painful. You're going to do some crying behind some closed doors. Or you're going to wish that you hadn't ever said it. But don't worry, he don't see you through it. God won't let you lose your mind if you keep your mind on him.
Yes.
He won't let you lose your integrity if you keep your trust in him. You can lose everything, but you can't lose him. I sat in my house and I looked up at the ceiling and I said, if everything around me were consumed in a fire, it wouldn't matter. As long as I got life and I can look unto the Lord who is my help. Enemy tried to really bring that fear in my mind, but look at all the stuff you're going to lose. And I said to his crazy self, as though I can't get more stuff. Didn't you see what Lazarus received? Lazarus was a nobody, and all of a sudden he was full of fame. Didn't you see what Job received? He only had one portion of something, but at the end of it, he got a double portion. His daughters were the most beautiful women. Y'all ain't talking to me. You got to lose something in order to gain something else. But you have to go through it. Stop whining and complaining over what you lost. You had to go through it. Bless God now. Bless God now. Because you're going to understand it was for this purpose. That he might be glorified. Because he had the right people watching. And now they can't deny what God has done. So if you try to be secretive about your struggles, it's one of the worst things. We take our struggles into our little private corners and don't tell nobody about it. But we supposed to publish its deeds amongst the people. It's become so hard as a preacher when it comes to the issues that saints have in their lives. Because I'm to keep their privacy by HIPAA and all those other things. You OSHA that we're not to disclose certain things about people. If you don't tell me to say nothing, I keep my mouth shut. But I wish the saints would publish the deeds amongst the people. Because we need to believe again that God is still a healer. We need to believe again that God is still a keeper. We need to believe again that he is a provider. Most importantly, we need to believe that he makes ways out of no ways. But we got to go back. In Jesus' name, we're standing. Trust in the Lord with all of thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding, but in all of thine ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Trust in the Lord with all of thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding, but in all of thine ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Oh, trust him, and so shall thou find favor and good understanding. Trust him, oh, trust him, he shall direct. Perplexing things and challenges all around us. But God, help us to keep looking unto you, who is the author and finisher of our faith. We bless you, God. And Lord, before we close, we even ask for your forgiveness. We ask that thou would forgive us individually, God. Forgive us for walking in fear and doubting. And God, forgive us collectively, as God, we've not always trusted you in everything that we needed to accomplish. But God, today we acknowledge we had to go through. We bless you now, God. We praise your name. We'll continue to do it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.